Eid State Holiday Act, which recognizes Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha as state holidays in California. California is home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the country, yet our state calendar does not reflect these deeply significant observances. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are among the holiest days in Islam, marked by prayer, reflection, charity, and community, and are observed by nearly 2 billion Muslims worldwide. Despite this, Muslim students across California are often forced to choose between attending school and fully observing these holidays. Even when absences are excused, students miss instructional time and can feel isolated from their peers. Employees face this same burden when workplaces do not formally recognize Eid. California prides itself on being one of the most diverse and inclusive states in the nation, but our laws have not yet caught up. Other jurisdictions, including Washington State, New York City, and several other major school districts, have taken steps to formally recognize Eid. AB 2017 will bring California in line with those efforts. We'll add these days to the state holiday calendar while maintaining flexibility for courts and local educational agencies. This approach mirrors how California recognizes observances such as Lunar New Year and Diwali. This bill comes at a particularly important moment. Across our country, we are seeing rising hate, division, and misunderstanding directed at many communities, including Muslim Americans. Just a few weeks ago, we saw a horrifying act of violence in San Diego that has deeply shaken many in our communities and reminded us that hate and extremism still exist in very real ways. One of the most powerful ways that we can combat bigotry is through education, recognition, and inclusion. When children grow up learning about and respecting each other's traditions and holidays, they grow up understanding that our diversity is something to celebrate, not fear. Recognition matters, and because it sends a message to Muslim students and families that they belong, that they are seen, and that their traditions are valued in California. Here to testify with me today is Antonio Lopez, a former mayor of East Palo Alto, and Tristan Brown on behalf of the California Federation of Teachers.
You can begin whenever you're ready.
I'm showing my cards, my first time testifying, but thank you all very much. When I started this, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to deeply thank the Assembly member for his solidarity. This is truly an important piece of legislation. Chair and members, my name is Antonio Lopez, the San Mateo County also Poet Laureate, former mayor of East Palo Alto. I'm also a convert to Islam. I converted to Islam in college in 2016. Proud to say that, and I stand in strong support of AB 2017. And I want to speak to what this bill means for inside our schools. We know that for Muslim students, Eid is not optional. It's also not merely cultural. It's one of the most holiest days of the year. For those of you who may know, fasting is not easy, 30 days, right? And if you're a kid at the gym, running, developing, it's so important that we have teachers that affirm their identity, affirm what this heritage, this holiday means to them. And oftentimes we hear stories in our community where children are forced to choose between faith and education, missing exams, assignments, marked absent, failing behind simply for observing a sacred day. And this bill is going to allow us to not just have teachers have the discretion to give a kid some slack. It's going to have a statewide affirmation that we're all on the same page. We recognize this holiday is critical. As the Assembly member said, we're seeing rise in anti-Muslim hate and bullying, and it's fueling a real mental health crisis. I think the mental health piece is critical for our Muslim community. School, as you know, is where children learns first where they belong. I'm sure all of you remember your first days at school and some of the stings of prejudice or discrimination that some of us stay with, whether we're Latinos or first gen. And I think this is a real strong signal from the state of California that we're behind our students. And AB 2017 does not privilege one faith over another. It simply ensures that a Muslim child can observe Eid without falling behind and bring our public institutions closer to the families they already serve. To every Muslim child in the state, this bill says that California sees you, California includes you, California belongs to you too. And I also am here to just remind each other that the community is not a monolith. Latinos are the fastest growing group of converts in this state. And it's a beautiful religion, and it's one that invites dignity, justice, health, solidarity. And I can't think of a better state to help usher this into our country as a reminder, as you all said, of the polarization. And so for the nearly 1 million Muslim Californians who call this state home, I respectfully urge your aye vote on AB 2017, inshallah. And again, I want to thank deeply Assemblymember Haney for this bill. I am wholeheartedly grateful, both as a public servant and as a Muslim. So thank you all so much.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. Tristan Brown with CFT. How do I follow this? Wonderful statements that you've already heard. I think that our members often see on the faces of our students in our classrooms when there is a inherent injustice or inherent differentiation of treatment among themselves. This bill goes far to update our historical norms on how we value the importance of faith in our students' households and how they practice those faiths. For so long, obviously, we've had winter breaks, we've had other recognition of holidays where even before in the recent times, I'll say, in this committee, we have been talking about how to make sure every student feels safe and supported in what makes them all unique and a part of the special context that makes up our education communities. So we're in full support of this bill to make sure that not only our members who are also members of this faith, but also our students who can freely exercise and be able to know that they are also just as included as anyone else when we take time for these vastly important religious holidays and take a moment to reflect on that and hopefully give other students a time to learn as well, to see what it is like to have a diverse community and know that it is not something to be feared, but something to be actually celebrated, and this bill helps us celebrate that. So with that, we ask for your aye vote.
Thank you for your presentation. We'll now hear from additional support Me Too's. If you could use the mic at the railing.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. Usama Muqaddam on behalf of the California chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, a co-sponsor of this bill, in strong support.
Monica Madrid with the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, Chila, in support. Thank you.
My name is Rami Selim. I'm Assistant Professor of Practice at the University of the Pacific. I support this bill and encourage you all to support it as well.
Hi, my name is Musa. I'm a Senate District 7 constituent and a Muslim American, and I respectfully support this bill. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lisa Dekari, a co-lead with Hindus for Human Rights, and we are very happy to support this bill. Thank you.
Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education, and we are honored to support this bill and like to thank the author for its introduction.
Good afternoon. David Mandel. As a Jewish American who grew up in neighborhoods and schools where I was part of a small minority, it was a very awkward situation when Jewish holidays arose. And do we take off? Do we not take off? What's going to happen? What are other students going to say? So I think it's a very good that in many cases Jewish holidays have been recognized in the same way. And it's about time that Muslim holidays and any others be as well. So I support the bill. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rodney Buckley, and I'm here as an individual from Sacramento County. And I, too, am a fellow Muslim, and I would just like to say not only do I support this bill, but thank you for putting this bill up, allowing us to be seen that we are recognized, and because we choose to believe differently, we should not be discriminated against nor penalized for following our beliefs. Thank you.
And I just want to remind folks, just Me Too, so name, organization, position on the bill.
Julian Sanchez on behalf of the California Commission on Asian and Pacific Islander American Affairs in support. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zane. I'm a District 15 constituent, and I respectfully support this bill. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aaliyah Santos, a student at the University of California, Davis, and I'm in support of this bill. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ukar Stubi. I'm a student at UC Berkeley, and I respectfully support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you to all those in support. Do we have any witnesses in opposition?
Chair and members, my name is Leandra Wells with the California Family Council, and we oppose AB 2017. California already has a neutral framework for religious holidays, and it works. State law lets any student be excused for any religious holiday at a parent's request. It protects every faith equally and asks the state to play no favorites. We support it. The neutrality is the settled standard California schools already operate under. The California School Boards Association own model policy adopted by districts across this state draws the line plainly. Teaching about religious holidays is permissible, but celebrating religious holidays is not allowed in public schools. Los Angeles Unified follows the same rule. Districts from Chico to San Luis Coastal have this identical language. The distinction between teaching and celebrating is the law of the land in California classrooms today. AB 2017 abandons that standard. It writes two specific Islamic holidays into statute by naming and authorizes state curriculum guides for school exercises, acknowledging and celebrating them. Eid and al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are explicitly theologically tied to two of the 5 pillars of Islam. Funding schools to celebrate their religious meaning isn't objective education. It's the celebration every one of these district policies forbids. Last October, the state made Diwali an official holiday using the same language. Meanwhile, no California statute has ever authorized schools to hold exercises celebrating the meaning of Jesus' birth or resurrection. And the author's rationale that Eid deserves recognition because the legislator already named Diwali has no stopping point. The queue includes every faith. There are 4,000 worldwide. The state cannot celebrate them all, so it will keep choosing winners and losers among religions. That is precisely what the Constitution forbids and precisely what school districts' policies were written to prevent. Please vote no.
Good afternoon. My name is Amber Arias. I'm a mother of 7. I'm a California parent advocate, founder of the Remnant Mama, and leader of Stand Up Ministry, Calvary Chapel, Solano. Public schools should educate children, not celebrate religious observances or holy days. While teaching about religions and their historical significance is appropriate, schools should not conduct exercises that acknowledge and celebrate specific religious holidays. AB 2017 crosses that line by encouraging recognition, acknowledgement, and the importance of Islamic holy days in public schools. As a Christian parent, I am concerned about fairness and equal treatment. We hear constant discussions about equity, diversity, and inclusion, yet many Christian families feel that their beliefs are expected to remain private while other beliefs receive special recognition. It would be almost unheard of for public schools to acknowledge the importance and celebrate the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Yet this bill encourages recognition of Islamic holy days. That raises concerns about government neutrality. Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Board Policy 6141.2 states, while teaching about religious holidays is a permissible part of the educational program, celebrating religious holidays is not allowed in the district. District-sponsored programs shall not be nor have the effect of being religiously oriented or a religious celebration. Similar principles are followed by the Davis Joint Unified School District. Schools should educate and not indoctrinate. Parents and not the government should guide their child's religious upbringing. In Mahmoud v. Taylor, the United States Supreme Court reaffirmed parents' rights to receive notice and an opportunity to opt out when instruction conflicts with their sincerely held religious beliefs. This bill could increase opt-outs, absenteeism, and administrative burdens on schools. Most importantly, our children here in California are already struggling academically. Too many students are not meeting state standards in reading, writing, and mathematics. Our schools should be focused on academic achievement, literacy, math proficiency, and safety, not religious celebrations. For these reasons, I respectfully urge you to vote no on AB 2017. Thank you.
We'll now hear from any additional Me Too's in opposition. Please use the mic at the railing.
David Bolog, in support of separation of church and state. We're in opposition. SFB Alliance. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Leslie Alves, Community Impact Leader and Revival Church International, and I respectfully oppose.
Porfiria Renteria from Solano County. I oppose this bill.
Florentina DiGennaro, Latina mother of 3, and I oppose this bill.
Lisa Disbro, Moms for Liberty of Contra Costa County, veteran public school teacher, 33 years. I've exercised all of my religious beliefs by using...
this is a Me Too period, okay. So
I'll finish my Me Too. I'll finish my Me Too. Informed parents of Contra Costa and pro-freedom of religion.
Thank you. seeing as we have no one else standing, I'll turn it back to the committee. And I just want to clarify, because there seems to be confusion. This bill authorizes but does not require a school or a community college district holiday. And so it's simply allowing for schools to be able to recognize the holiday if they so wish. It leaves it up to the local education agency. We know that our local education agencies are serving various diverse communities all across the state. And so allowing them the flexibility to decide whether or not they would like to, one, acknowledge the Eid holiday. It also authorizes them to provide informational resources to students if they so wish around the meaning and the importance of Eid, which I think follows much of the law that we have in place for other holidays. And I do just want to note, I think almost everybody in this room has taken time off for Christmas break, and we now refer to it as holiday break, but it was built around the Christmas and Christmas Eve holidays. So I will go ahead and turn it over to the other committee members we have here. Senator Gonzalez.
Yes, thank you so much to Assemblymember Haney and your witnesses for this bill. I'm really, really appreciative of this, more so not just as a senator, but as a PTA mom who is also on the DEI committee in my kids' public school. We love just having, the diversity that we do to teach our children. My 5th grader, now about to be 6th grader, gets to learn about the various different religions, the various backgrounds, and it makes me feel like this is exactly what the state of California should be doing in recognizing these students and ensuring that they also have they have visibility and are seen, and so I'm just really appreciative for you doing this. And as been mentioned by the chair, we have a lot of Muslim students who are off for the Christmas holiday, and they've been dealing with this for some time. Not that they've been complaining, but I think we've heard from a lot of them, that it'd be nice for them to be recognized in state law as well in this fashion. For that, I'd love to be added as a co-author, and I'm just grateful for you bringing this forward. It's much needed.
Senator Cabaldon.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Chair. I wasn't going to speak, but as the representative for Davis, Fairfield, Sassoon, Solano, and Contra Costa, I'm very supportive of the bill and glad that it's here. As the chair indicated, I mean our existing schedule, both winter break but also spring break, long before it was people thinking about going to Cancun or Miami, it was the Easter break, and that we've just taken for granted now that those periods, winter break and spring break, came out of some academic study or something. They didn't. It's not. They were never based on like what's the best interest of the child for learning. It was no. We need to take off because of the Easter holiday and the Christmas holiday. That was not inappropriate, but that's just been now baked into the system that we have, and so it's not inappropriate to make visible what has been invisible in the system, and to assure that everybody has that moment to reflect and to be seen, and for others to see if they choose. So I'm supportive of the bill. I think this is a long overdue measure, and as the chair said, it's not a mandate. It simply allows for schools to be able to reflect the communities and the students and the families that they serve.
Thank you, Senator Cabaldon. Senator Ochoa-Boak.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Member Haney. This is the second time that I'll be seeing this bill. I started in GO and was not supportive of the bill in GO, and this is why. As mentioned, we have over 4,000 faiths around the world, and in a nation that is so diversified as ours, and especially in California that is so diverse, I actually appreciated and made a commitment that I would work on a bill next year with Senator Wahab, which she probably most likely won't be here as senator, but I really appreciated her. She's the only Muslim member in the legislature, but I really appreciated the bill that she led with last year, which was SB 461. Or actually in 23, that would ensure that every state employee would be able to observe their own religious and cultural celebration as they see fit. And I think a bill such as in that format would actually allow for anyone to take off and celebrate their own personal belief, faith, or religious holiday as needed. And that would accommodate all of the religions rather than having every single year coming back and having one by one being recognized in the state. So I'm going to work on that with Senator Wahab for next year, making it more general rather than having explicit. And to be fair, though the winter holidays or the spring holidays may have been originally dictated, except for the winter holiday, the spring break doesn't necessarily align with every single Easter. It varies from school district according to whenever they want. So I think there's been a push away from making sure that it's not a religious break, but more of a, and so there's been a very precise effort to ensure that we don't celebrate Christian holidays in there. And so I think in order to be fair to every faith and for every faith to feel and culture to feel included, I think Senator Wahab's previous bill, or her bill in 2023, actually set a very good model for our state. So I will be working on that end. So I will not support the bill today, but not that I don't believe that every student should have the ability or opportunity to actually take the holidays off. But I think that model would be more fitting for a state as diverse as ours, and it would be most accommodating. So I will work on that next year. So thank you for bringing that forward. Thank you for sharing your life experiences with us today.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments. Oh, Senator Gomez-Reyes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to thank you for the bill. Since I became an assembly member, I've had the privilege of having at least one Muslim working in my office, probably had the majority of them working in my office at one time, but even to this day. And so I'm very well aware of the holidays and assuring that the time off is taken, and the rest of my staff wants to know more about it. And I think that's what it's about. You get to have a more well-rounded view of the world when you get to hear about others. We're not talking about a very small group. We're talking about a group. We all have friends and extended family that's Muslim, and I think that to recognize that and to recognize that there should be, it's a high holiday. We need to recognize how important it is, and to give the honor to those who celebrate it, to make sure that they do have the time and the place. I recognize the comments from my colleague from Yucaipa, and some of those things are true also, that it was Christmas and now we don't call it Christmas, we call it the holiday. It was Easter and now we call it spring break. And there's something to be said about that, and perhaps it's something that needs to be addressed in the future also. But I think for today, for this bill, we also celebrate Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. The time is, we are able to take time off, and I think that is important. But for today, for this bill, it is an important bill, and I'm glad that you have brought it before us. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Assemblymember or Senator Gomez-Reyes. Assemblymember Haney, would you like to close?
Sure, and I appreciate all of those comments, and I want to thank the witnesses and supporters. I also want to acknowledge, because her name was brought up, Senator Wahab, who's a principal co-author of this bill and has been a huge champion for getting this bill through as well. There are a few things that are more American than religious freedom, a few things more important or central to our constitutional rights than religious freedom. We don't put one religion over another. And what we know is that there are nearly 1 million Muslim Californians who are being forced to choose in many cases right now from fulfilling their responsibilities at work or school, or being able to observe their most holy days. That's what we're trying to address here, their opportunity to be able to assert and practice their religious freedom. It's not about forcing anything on anyone. If anything, it's about just understanding that we live in a religiously diverse society here in California, and there are people to whom this is incredibly essential to who they are, and it's important if we allow for that and also learn about it. I think if we were to force people to go to school or work as state employees or in state public schools on Christmas, all of us would be up in arms over that. All of us would view that as incredibly unacceptable. Well, we want to extend that same opportunity for the many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Muslim Californians, and we shouldn't just put them in a group and say they're just like these 4,000 others. This is one of the world's major religions. There are 2.2 billion people around the world who observe these holy days. They deserve the recognition. They deserve the religious protections that are enshrined in our Constitution, and this is an incredibly important way that we as California say that they are included, they are seen, they matter, and we want to learn about them. We want our young people to learn about their religion, and we want to make sure that we respect it and value it in the same way that we would any of the others. So with that, we respectfully ask for your aye vote, and this bill was unanimous in the State Assembly. This is not a partisan issue. This is not a right-left issue. There are people in every single one of our districts of every political persuasion who are Muslim Californians, and they deserve our recognition and support. And this bill is a huge step forward for that. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. And that motion for your bill is due pass to the Senate Appropriations Committee. Do we have a motion? Senator Gomez-Reyes. Secretary, can you call the roll?
Senators Perez.
Aye.
Perez, aye. Ochoa Bog, Cabaldon, Choi, Cortese. Aye. Cortese, aye. Gonzalez. Aye. Gonzalez, aye. Reyes. Aye. Reyes, aye.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. I see we